definitely recommending method 2 in using past questions, because this method helps you to cover a wide range of topics very, very fast. Like, you are able to cover so much in very little time. So it is very true that past questions can take your Jamb score to a whole new level. In this video, I'm going to be showing you step by step how to correctly use past questions to get a very good score in your Jamb. The ways in which you can use past questions in your preparation are divided into 3. And these 3 methods, if you combine the 3 of them, I assure you that you're going to have a very good score. But if you're seeing this video at a time that you no longer have so much time to exam, then method 2 is definitely the method that you should use. But anyways, let me get right into it. The first thing is to have your past questions. Usually in Jamb, you write 4 subjects, so you should have past questions for each of your subjects. I understand that these days there are Jamb apps and everything, but I still advise hard copies, and this is because using soft copies can be very, very distracting. Or both of them actually have their advantages and their disadvantages. If you use soft copies, you can maybe get used to it, can give you like a Jamb interface, and you can use that to get used to how the questions are set and how you're going to be using the system on the actual day. But I still recommend hard copies because it is easier to shun distractions and focus on your studying. Once you get your past questions, the first method is to use past questions after studying each topic. Now this means that, for instance, say you study momentum in physics, the next thing to do is to solve the questions at the end of the topic in whatever textbook you used for reading. And after that, the next thing you should do is to go to past questions on physics and check out as many questions as possible on momentum alone. There was a time I attended a tutorial for Jamb, and at that tutorial we had collections of past questions topic by topic, and this was very, very helpful because it helps to understand the topic better. It gives you an idea of the different ways that questions can be set in a particular topic. This method can be a bit time consuming because not so many people have collection of questions, and it can be time consuming to start browsing through your Jamb past question to fish out which questions belong to a particular topic. There are textbooks that have past questions at the back of each topic that you can use. So if you have those kind of textbooks, then that is very good. But if you don't, well, just move to method 2. And method 2 now is the past questions leading you back to your textbooks. And this is even the main method. This is the actual method that you need to understand very well. And if you're seeing this video at a time that you no longer have so much time left for your Jamb, then I'm definitely recommending method 2 in using past questions, because this method helps you to cover a wide range of topics very, very fast. Like, you are able to cover so much in very little time if you use this method as you're supposed to use it. The first thing is to select at least 15 years. Say, for instance, you can select maybe 1995 to 2000, 2010 to 2015, then the recent ones, say for instance 2020 to 2024. Just select a number of years, some from past years, and make sure that very recent ones are there as well, so that they give you an idea of how the questions are being set now. Once you've selected the 15 years, you can get a notebook for each of your subjects, and if you have a big notebook, then that's fine. You can just divide it into 4 sections for each of the subjects you're taking. Now, after you've done this, pick a period of time. Say, for instance, you want to say, for the next 4 weeks, I want to focus on these past questions. Since we're taking 15 years at the very least, you can decide, okay, every day I'm going to take a year across all of my subjects. Say, for instance, I'm taking 1999. I'm going to treat 1999 in biology, 1999 in chemistry, 1999 in physics, and 1999 in English. So you're going to do that every single day. Or you can make it, okay, I want to treat 1999 in 2 of my subjects today, then 1999 in the remaining 2 tomorrow. So it is either you're selecting 15 days to run through this method, or you're selecting 30 days, and after selecting that period of time, you have to stick to it. You have to make it a routine. It is not if you have time or not. No, you have to say, okay, from maybe 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. every day, I'm going to take these questions and treat them. And I'm going to be showing you how you're supposed to go about solving these past questions. Okay, let's take biology, for instance. Divide your notebook page into 3. The first part is for the answers you chose for the questions you're answering. The second part is for note taking, and I'm going to tell you what this part is all about. And the third part is for correction. The first thing is to answer all of the questions Say for instance, biology questions numbers 1 to 50, or I think it's 1 to 40 now. So you answer questions 1 to 40 without checking the back. Now, as you're answering these questions, if there's any question among the questions for that year that you did not know for sure, like you just guessed the answer, you star it. It's because at the end of the day, you might guess the question, but you did not actually know the answer. So if you see it in another year, some other time, or if you see a similar question, it will be guesswork again, and your guesswork might be wrong this time. So you have to check it out when you're done. Another thing you want to be doing as you're solving the questions is, even if you knew the answer to that question, but in that particular question you saw strange concepts, if for instance in the options you're seeing some other answers that you don't exactly know the meaning, maybe you're seeing some terms that you were not familiar with before, then you have to jot them down in the notes part. So on the notes part, this is where you're going to be writing down anything you come across at all that you want to check out later or that you're not familiar with. If there are things that make you remember some subtopics, for instance, say they asked you in biology that when you had iodine to starch, obviously a blue-black color is formed, and you knew that one. But in your head, you are now remembering, okay, I know for protein, but I don't know for fat and oil. What if they ask me about the Sudan test, or they ask me other food tests that I don't know? Under your notes section, you have to put it down there to check. That's usually how I would write it down. Check food tests. This is very, very important. Now, when you're done with all of the questions, you mark faithfully and honestly. If it is 10/40 you get, write down your 10/40. Now when you're done with this, you now do the correction. On the correction part, you write out the answers to the questions that you missed, and after that you check out as well the ones that you starred, whether you missed them or you got them, you still check them out, and then you write out whatever new knowledge you're getting from those things, correct answer, why it is the correct answer, and everything. After the whole thing, you go back to your textbook, or maybe you go online to search for the answers to the questions that were confusing, to search for the subtopics that those particular questions came from. Start finding answers to the things that you wanted to check out in your notes. Make sure that you read the subtopic where that question came from, and you make sure that you understand the concept thoroughly, so that whatever question comes out from that subtopic any other time, you can answer without stress. You don't just come back and cram the answers to the questions you missed. You go back and you do your research and you understand why you missed them and the correct thing. If there is additional knowledge that you know that, oh, this might be asked in Jamb, you also add that knowledge to it as well. In a particular year of past questions, it's usually covers a number of topics. You're able to touch the areas that are important in each topic, even as you solve the past questions. So after thoroughly doing your correction and your notes, you go through the new knowledge you have gotten from the past question and everything. You go through it, and the next day or the next time, whether it is the next day or the next 2 days, depending on your schedule for answering the past questions, the first thing to do is to try to remember as much as possible from what you did the previous day, the new knowledge you got, the answers you got, without opening your book. Try to remember all of those things that you learned. Then open the book, review those answers again. Be sure that the answers are in your head and the concept, you understand them well. Now, for calculation questions, answer the question the same way you answer for subjects without calculations, and also write down new things that you discover even as you solve the questions. Now when you're done with the whole thing, if there is any new formula that you learned from your correction, you have to note it down and understand how that formula was used, because at the end of the day, calculations, especially physics, is all about formula. I think I'm going to make another video about how to pass physics without stress, because most of the time when people have high scores, it is even in their physics that they have their best scores. Jamb physics is not that difficult if you know your way around it, and if you need to go back to the textbook to check out other related calculations or check out other related formula, then you do that as well. And just like the subjects without calculation, the first thing you want to do the next day is to try to remember as much as possible from what you learned before you start the new year for that day. Before you know it, say for instance questions came from 10 topics in a particular year. If you thoroughly understand those 10 topics or 10 subtopics, then it means that if questions come from those subtopics in later years, then you're able to answer without stress. And by the time you've done like 5-6 years, you get to see all the parts of these particular topics that usually come out in Jamb, and these are the parts that I should focus on in my reading. So the final method that I'm going to recommend in using past questions is to take timed tests. This means that you take a year from your past questions, say for instance 2005, and then you time yourself according to jam time, subtract like 10 or 20 minutes from the standard jam time, so that I get used to finishing the exam within considerable and reasonable time. This should be done like once a week. Like every week you select a year and then you do it to time yourself, and once it is even closer to the exams you might do this more than once a week. So you time yourself for answering the questions, and after the answering and everything, then you can now take your time to do corrections. So with these three methods, the first method is going to help you get used to how questions can be set from any topic. It will broaden your reasoning and help you to know, okay, this is how I'm supposed to reason when solving questions under this topic. The second method will help you to cover so many topics in very short time, while the third method is going to help you to adjust to jam time. And with this, we've come to the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and share with other people who might find it helpful as well. Subscribe so that you don't miss out on other videos that I'm going to be dropping on helpful tips for jam. See you in my next video. Bye.